Okay, this sounds insane, but adding negative keywords for some of you, not all of you, is actually limiting the performance of your account. There are two phases in how to go about adding negative keywords to accounts and then eventually testing removing negative keywords. Now, most of you watching probably are going to be in the first phase where you actually should be adding negative keywords. I'll talk about that. But then there is the second phase where you should test removing negative keywords. I will actually show you an account where I fully removed negative keywords. It works wonderfully, and I'll show you how it's actually making money on terms that you would think should be negated from, but somehow Google's making actual real dollars, real sales for this account on what looks like bad terms. Let's dive in. So when you add a negative keyword, you are telling Google, do not show my ad for someone searching for this term or keyword that you've added as a negative, right? You're limiting the auctions you're allowing Google to go enter, which in phase one, which is you're either a brand new account or you have lower or limited conversion volume. I will help determine how you actually determine whether or not you have limited or low conversion volume here in a second. But new accounts, you absolutely should be adding negative keywords. And in fact, in my trainings, I usually recommend on new accounts, you do it every single day. Google doesn't really know what a converter looks like to you yet, and it does a terrible job in most cases at putting your ads in front of the right audiences, even when you build sound campaign structures like I teach here on the YouTube channel or in my school group community. So you must add negative keywords in the beginning. I'm all pro negative keyword addition, right? Forget giving Google more money than they deserve. And I think they're greedy about it too, by the way. Now, when you have lower conversion volume or limited conversion volume, negative keywords are still highly important. So many of you watching this video right now should add negative keywords and continue to add negative keywords. By the way, I actually just did a video not too long ago on how I automated negative keywords. I will have a link to that video in the description below. Check that out after this video. But I have scripts as well as Claude skills that help with this, as well as a full AI builder tool that we've developed here internally at Grow My Ads that helps with negative keyword additions. So I teach on negatives, I show you how to add them, and you should absolutely be adding negative keywords if you're in phase one. Now, how do you know if you have enough conversion volume to pivot to what I would call phase two, which means you actually want to start removing negative keywords? Here's how you know. Does your current campaign right now or campaigns have enough conversion volume in them where your smart bidding is very consistent? So if you change the bidding goal, you don't go through these real wacky phases. You kind of have it dialed in. It's going to stay consistent. So let's say you're at like a 200% ROAS target and you're like, yeah, I need to move this up to 220. You don't lose too much. Things still operate very consistently for you. You're comfortable. You're confident in those campaigns. And if you're on search, you are utilizing a lot of broad keywords and they're working well for you, or maybe you're even tapped into AI Max and that is working well for you. If you say yes to that, you're like, yeah, I spend lots of money. I've got lots of conversion volume coming in. There's tons of consistency. Smart bidding works just wonderful for us. We don't have all this finickiness that lower spending or small, and it's not always low spending because like B2B SaaS companies can spend $100K a month and smart bidding still is very finicky because it's just low conversion volume to work with. But if you're not feeling that, if you're like, yeah, we're confident in the campaigns, we have no, when we change bidding targets, there's no problems. It goes up or goes down, but there's no real slowdowns or suffocation periods that we feel, then you're in a really good spot. When you're running search and you have broad and you're tapped into broad or even AI Max and that's working for you, that is the signal that you're really not targeting keywords anymore. You're fully tapped into what Google wants, which is just like audience targeting. Google knows what your converters look like, and they just enter auctions to try to cherry pick people who look like your converters. That is why you can have accounts where literally it's all broad match and it works because you're not really buying the keyword. You're like, go find me people who look like my converters at that point. And I'll show you inside of an account then where we're able to actually pull that off for the most part. Now, when your account is in that stage, negative keywords actually can hinder you because you don't want to limit the auctions Google will send you into. And I'm going to show you this in a real account. So what I recommend to people who have high volume or broad match working or AI max working and smart bidding's working consistently for them, then what I recommend is start testing. Just remove a negative keyword list or batches of negative keywords and see what happens. And in fact, you actually can, in some cases, start to see a performance gain. And it makes sometimes like, it doesn't make sense to at first, but once you start testing, you're like, oh, this starts to make sense. Like Google really is able to find auctions for terms that I thought looked bad. And there's conversions to be had there that I just never was able to tap into until now because I'm lucky and I'm in this phase 2 era of my Google Ads account. So let me show you a real account where I was able to pull this off. Okay, so this is a shopping campaign. We've spent about $168,000 this year on it, and it has produced almost $500,000 in revenue at like a 2.91, okay? Now, I'm gonna go into this campaign and I'm gonna go to the negative keywords. You'll notice there is a negative keyword list called brand terms. We still negate brand terms from this campaign. So that would be the company's name. We don't wanna target the company's name in this campaign. We actually have a branded shopping campaign specific for that traffic. Then, I somewhat lied. I'm sorry. We do have some negative keywords in here. And that is because we removed a bunch and then there were still some. It's like, okay, these still are not doing as well. Google will probably, nickel and dime us over time on them. So let's just add some of those negatives. So we actually still will review wasted spend search terms, but you'll notice I have a whopping 18 negatives in here on this account. And if we go into our negative keyword list, we used to have like thousands. So this one has 4,000, this one has 4,000. So we were running at one point just thousands and thousands of negative keywords. And what we simply did is once this shopping campaign was super dialed in, we just removed them to test to see what happened. Now, I want to show you an example of what I mean by this. Okay, for this account, there is a competitor called Lovesac. And we actually at one point tried targeting Lovesac and we ended up with a whopping 0.26% ROAS. It was really, really bad, right? We were actually signaling to Google, we want to bid on Lovesac. And the reason we did that is because we started to see in some data that it could work, right? And this is what actually got us to like, let's test removing competitors as negatives. That was like the first phase we went through with this specific account. And then we moved into, removing pretty much all the negatives that we could after this test. But I want to show you, Lovesac is a competitor. In most cases, unless you do a competitor-specific campaign, specific initiative, specific landing page, maybe it's a comparison page or something that you see a lot of mattress companies do, a lot of times it doesn't work. And in most cases, if you're in phase 1, I recommend you add competitors as negative keywords. Google will do a really poor job of showing your ad to a bunch of competitors of yours when people are literally specifically looking for that competitor. You have, and some people think, well, I mean, if they're looking for my competitor, maybe they haven't heard about me. This isn't a billboard. We're not trying to do billboard advertising here. We are trying to make money right now, especially in phase 1. But in phase 2, again, lots of volume, everything's working. Google knows what a converter looks like to you. So a competitor term actually can now work because the small sliver of traffic searching that competitor, Google can determine, hey, this person actually looks like a converter to this account or your account. So in this case, I just wanted to show you when we were specifically targeting it, it did terrible. And this was done in a search campaign. Now, if I go into my shopping campaign where I no longer have Lovesac as a negative keyword, I've been able to generate $7,000. It's not a ton to this account, but it works, right? So why would I want to limit that? I've been able to make $7,000 at almost a 4x, which is beyond our actual goal that we're asking for in this campaign, because I didn't add it as a negative keyword. So again, why does that work? It works because this shopping campaign has an insane amount of volume to it, and it works. Like, Google knows what our converters look like. We have enough volume for it to do that. And so Lovesac searches, the 140,000 impressions we were able to get this year, and out of that, the 900 some clicks that we got, Google was only allowing us to be in a small sliver of people searching for Lovesac, because Google determined that these impressions of searchers were searchers who looked to be like a converter to home reserve. So it was cherry picking those auctions, even though from a best practice standpoint, this would be a competitor term, and usually you would want to add as a negative keyword. Now, you can look at that for lots of other negatives. Where I still would have caution is, and you'll see it in my negative keywords in the account, I have still recliner in here, right? Why do I have recliner in there? I don't really care that Google has all the intent signals possible. It was still, when we did this test, we removed recliner. It was still showing us for recliner searches, and it just still wasn't really working. Now, again, we weren't getting a mass volume of recliner clicks and impressions, but it was enough that over time, when I started looking at long time frames, to me, it was like, okay, this is just simply not going to work. And that's because we don't sell anything that's reclining furniture. So even though Google determines like, hey, maybe this person looks like they could be a converter of home reserve, no one searching for recliner sofas is buying anything from us when we have 0 recliner sofas. So you still want to add just like, brain dead, obvious negative keywords. But in this phase where we're at with this campaign, and I'll show you a search campaign here in a second too, you can test removing that and making some incremental performance gains like I did with 7K so far this year. Again, not a ton of money for this company, but that's 7K that I made profitably that I wouldn't have had before. So that was just one term, right? That was Lovesac. Start stacking the other negative keyword themes that I've removed, and it could be a few thousand here, a few thousand there. It starts to add up by the end of the year. We're going to make some decent coin on terms that I used to never run because I had them as negative keywords. Okay, now here's a search campaign. It is mostly driven by broad match, and then we have some exact sprinkled in there as well. Again, this is like we're in phase 2 with this search campaign. Tons of volume, predominantly lives off broad, does really well for us. And so we were able to start removing negative keywords from it and do just fine. So here's that competitor term again. And here we've done about 7K at a 1.65. You can't look at, in this account, we look at by time metrics, so conversion by time, conversion value by time, because there is that delay in conversion value or population because there's a longer sales cycle here. So we know that we're actually getting more than that if I was able to look at a by time metric at the search term level. You can't do that. And so you can do it at keyword level, you can do it at ad group and campaign, but not at the individual search term level. So we're happy with that. And like if I go back to, longer periods of time, or sorry, not longer periods of time, but if I go back further where like conversion population would populate and you would look at a conversion metric and a conversion by time metric and they would be very close to each other, then, look, it was a 2.65 if I go back to January and February there. So we know this does fine, at least based off of the performance goals that we're looking at with this in this account. So we keep it. Again, this is money that historically I would have had negated, that I never would have entered the auctions. But because we have so much volume, because we're tapped in, at least in the search campaign, and broad is working for us, right? Broad match, then this was a time to start testing. Let's remove negative keywords from the search campaign and let's let it rip. Let Google determine the audiences that look like converters for us. Forget what the search terms actually are. Again, to an extent, we still negate things that are just brain dead obvious. There you go. If you feel like you're in phase 2, then start testing removing batches of negative keywords and see what happens to your performance. So start with maybe competitors. Just remove competitor negatives. See what happens. If that works for you, then start removing more batches of negatives. I don't think you need to go do what I did and just like clear all of them out. You can, depending on your risk tolerance, but just start in little batches of removals of negative keywords, see what happens to your performance. Again, that's if you're in phase 2. If you're not, and you're not utilizing a ton of broad and you're lower conversion volume still, then keep doing what you're doing, keep adding negative keywords. And again, go check out the video that I have on how I automated negative keywords, where I talk about a Claude skill that's been developed, an AI campaign builder tool that we use for negatives, as well as scripts that you can use in your account too if you're not using Claude or like AI or anything. So it can be automated with just about any tool accessible to anyone. And so you should be adding negatives if you're in phase 1, and it doesn't really need to be that big of a chore to do either. So go check out that video next.